Welcome back. Today we're going to talk about what to do when your husband leaves you with no money. That's exactly what happened to me. And it was a shock. It was a surprise. And there was nothing I could do about it. It was already too late. But today, I am financially free. And I'm going to help you do the exact same thing. I'm going to share with you parts of my story that I think you'll find very helpful. And I'm also going to share with you the do's and don'ts, just in case you find yourself in a similar situation. In my situation, my husband died and left me without money. There are certainly other scenarios out there. A husband can actually leave you without money. Take all the money, or maybe you didn't have money, or maybe you didn't know you didn't have money. But they leave you, and here you are alone without money. That's the bottom line. When that first happened to me, it was not only devastating in a financial, concrete way, but it was also really devastating in an emotional way. I felt very alone because my husband's friends were all very, very rich people because he was very rich. I hadn't been married to him very long. So I didn't know these people really well, and I was very intimidated by the whole situation. Here I was, unable to keep up the financial life that they knew us for, and I was very embarrassed and full of shame about the whole thing. How could I have gotten myself into that situation? How could I have not known that we were out of money? Well, he kept it from me and from everybody else very well. And had he not died, the truth was imminently going to come out. One thing I learned right away is that I needed to tell the truth about what the reality was, and I needed to not be afraid to ask for help. So I want to encourage you, if you find yourself in this situation, ask for help. Ask for financial help. And ask for emotional health. Both of them are needed when you're in this kind of crisis. Let's look at the financial help first. I went out on a campaign and asked for money, plain and simple. I said, I cannot pay immediate bills. There was only $5,000 in the bank, and that was gone just like that. I needed help. And not only that, I wasn't working at the time, and I had no resources. I had to be humble and ask other people for help. And as it turned out, money was raised for me so that I could pay funeral costs, hospital costs. I could buy groceries. I could keep food on the table so that I literally did not have to become homeless. So don't be afraid to ask. Your friends and your friends' friends are there to help you if you're in a crisis. I promise you that. There are people out there who care and want you to be safe and taken care of. Now let's look at the emotional side of it. I needed a lot of support emotionally. I was devastated in so many ways. My husband had just died. I was grieving. I was lost. My entire life had changed in an instant. I didn't have any money. I found out my house was in foreclosure. I had no idea when that was going to happen, when the bank was going to come and take it. It was a crisis on so many levels. I needed a lot of emotional help. Don't be afraid to seek the help you need, the support you need, whether it be from a counselor or just a really good, trusted friend. But a little caution here. You don't want to wear out your friends because they're not professionals. They can listen and be supportive for a while, but after a while, you don't want to keep belaboring the fact that you are in crisis. At that point, you really do need to seek professional help. And there's all kinds of people, whether they're coaches, counselors, therapists, those kind of people who can help you deal with all the emotions that you're feeling. Now we're at the practical side of things. This is the time where you need to evaluate where you are financially, what your picture looks like, what bills are absolutely urgent to pay? What can you hold off on? Who can you negotiate with at the credit card companies to hold them off a little while? Explain your situation. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Trust me, I know this one very well. Some credit card companies are willing to work with you and others just don't care what has happened. They just want their money. Doesn't matter. Get a snapshot of your picture of what's going on so that you know the next steps you need to take. One of the next steps is to start trimming. And I mean, you go out there with a machete and you start whacking away at the tall weeds. Look at what you can get rid of out of your life immediately. Now, in my case, I was way up here. I didn't have to worry about money. I could buy anything I wanted. I didn't even have to look at the price tag, even though my personality is I look at the price tag anyway, and I love a good deal. So when I found out I was really down here, there was quite the gap. And I had a lot of trimming to do very, very quickly. Hopefully, if you're ever in this position, your gap's a little bit less than mine. But the point is, you've got to start getting rid of the things out of your financial life that are completely unnecessary. That extra dress that you like to buy every month, or that wonderful restaurant that you just have to visit. No, those things can go away for now. There'll come a day when you can go back to those little luxuries, but right now, go into survival mode. Only the necessities. Food, keeping a roof over your head, and paying your absolute necessary bills so that you can get to work and you can get food on the table. That's where you are right now. I know it's hard, but you have to look at it that way. At this point, there are a lot of resources that you can pull from, not only counselors and things like that, but there are all kinds of programs that can help you through this rough patch in your life. You would be amazed at how many financial assistance programs there are, and even just food available, childcare available. There are a lot of resources out there. Things that I never thought I'd have to think about. I started doing research and I was amazed at how much help I could get until I got back onto my feet. So I encourage you to absolutely check all that out, and don't be afraid and don't be embarrassed. They're there to help you. Mindset at this point is very important. I can't stress enough. Do not go into victim mode. Do not go into a place of, why is this happening to me? I don't deserve this. Everybody has it great but me. All the things that we think about when we are down and out, if you will. That's easier said than done. I understand that. I've been there. You've been left. Your husband has either died or he's walked out on you. You find out you don't have money, or maybe you knew you didn't have money, but now you really are on your own. It's a hard time. And I give you permission to absolutely wallow in the fact that you are in crisis. What you need to not do is stay there. That's so important. Have a good cry, purge it out of your body, but pick yourself back up and decide what the next steps are, where you're going to go, how you're going to rebuild. That's the secret. Don't stay in victim mode. Move on and get your life back. One of the things I realized very quickly was there's nobody coming to save me. I had to save myself. I had to do what I needed to do to rebuild my life. And it doesn't happen overnight. It is a long process. And part of that process is working your butt off. I don't know how else to say it but that. I worked really, really hard. Day, night, whatever it took. It's not going to come easy. Things aren't going to just fall in your lap. I got my real estate license back on track, and I got out there, I hit the streets, and I worked and worked and worked until I was able to buy my own property, buy investment property, do all the things that I needed to do to build my financial life back up. Work hard. It's not going to come to you. You got to do it yourself. Pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and you can do it because I did. I have a question for you. Where do you think your financial confidence is right now? If this were to happen to you, where would you start? What knowledge do you have? I actually have a gift for you. I've put together a How Financially Confident quiz, and if you take that quiz, that'll give you a starting point of what to look at right now and then what you need to aspire to. It will get you to the baseline of where you are and where you need to go to become more financially confident. You'll find that in the link below. And while you're there, why don't you subscribe?